I've often said that my best work has been on my smallest budgets because I've got to be more creative.
Who's Kevin Jordan? Where does he come from as an artist?
Well, from Indiana. I think I got my artistic talent from my dad. I know he went to school for art, fine art. But he did do a lot of house renovations and beautiful home remodels. I think got my talent from my dad. Well, I started sewing when I was in junior high. My grandmother had a sewing machine. My mother had one too, but when I would visit with my grandmother, she taught me. I used to make shorts. I made a lot of shorts. It was the 80s, and board shorts were all the rage. But I liked making my own clothes. My junior year of high school, there was this local regional theater called the Wagon Wheel Playhouse. One show I worked in the prop shop, then the next show I worked in the scene shop, then I worked with lights, and then they put me in costumes. By the end of my time there, I was the technical director for the winter season, and it was my senior year of high school. After high school, I got a job at the alteration shop, where I would spend time fitting clients in their clothes. I got to work with lots of really, really beautiful clothes. But I learned to be quite efficient as a sewer. Well, after that, I got married. I made her wedding dress. There was over 200 man hours in the lace alone. Chiffony lace, all on English netting, and Point d'Esprit. Really beautiful Victorian design. Yeah, life doesn't always go quite the way you plan it. But my wife at the time, she started having a lot of medical problems and ended up putting us into bankruptcy. It's not easy on an artist's salary to be able to pay for medical insurance. So I joined the Air Force. Switched from being a costume designer in beautiful Southern California to being a weapons specialist in the United States Air Force stationed at RAF Lakenheath in England. England was great, but we got great health care through the military for my wife. But in my time in the military, I realized that I'd been hiding something about myself for a long time. Maybe not hiding it that well. I did make my wife's wedding dress, and it was time to come out of the closet. So I got out of the military after my 4 years, and my wife and I got divorced. She moved back to Indiana, where we came from, where I met her. And I moved back to California, and I wasn't doing the things that really fed my heart anymore. And I decided it was a time to change. So I moved to Philadelphia. So I got a job with a event company that threw major corporate parties and big events. I was designing decor for the events and selling that to our clients. I was fortunate enough to designed the decor for the 2007 Liberty Medal at the National Constitution Center. That was the year that it was awarded to Bono, a big idol of mine. And it was a presidential event, so all of my designs went across the president's desk. That was pretty exciting. I think that might have been the most high-level project I'd ever done. But at that time, I was introduced to an amazing rock and roll cabaret theater company here in Philadelphia called Brat Productions. The director took me in under her wing, introduced me to a lot of great people in the theater scene here, and gave me a lot of great opportunities. In fact, I was cast in a glam rock cabaret called Eternal Glam Nation. I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, rock and roll cabaret, we had all kinds of glam rock favorites. It gave me a lot of opportunities to do costume and set design as well. And they got me involved with a music venue here in Philadelphia called Underground Arts. And since then, I've been taking care of that venue, making sure the vibe is always cool and fits whatever theme of the event, whatever theme the event may be. And just in the last few months, I've been meeting with a number of the bands that we're incubating out of Underground Arts and helping them with their wardrobe and their stage presence. I love Project Runway. I have telebinged Project Runway. I have watched it week after week, catching each episode. I like the challenges. I like thinking how I would handle the challenge. I like seeing the creativity come out of people when they're put in a position that's a little bit challenging, a little bit more difficult. But to be able to take something specific and make it your own, I think that's an unusual talent, and I think that's something I'm really good at. I can do anything that you put in front of me, and if I can't, I won't let on. I'm just gonna try my best. I'd like to spend more time in New York. I'd like to spend more time in California. I'd like to be traveling to do projects. I'd like to be able to work with the best people in the industry. So I think sewing and design is where my major skill set is, and I really want to focus on that for a while.